Fellow Kenyans, ladies and gentlemen, I have taken some time to reflect and consult on the naming of my running mate. I took a deliberately long and painstaking search in the whole country for that person. I had consulted widely with my family, and of course, very well represented by Tessie, my wife here, friends, with my party UDF, and in the Amani coalition, and with many other Kenyans. The list was trimmed to the first 100 people of various persuasions, competence, and commitment to the nation. I was looking for a soulmate for the Amani coalition and for Kenyans. A Kenyan who will not only complement the president, but will also be principled enough to challenge me in our responsibilities in the service of Kenyans. There were many options available across the nation. What I did not do and will not do is apportion the running mate position on the basis of the politics of the day. That is ethnicity and the search for predictable numbers. In Amani coalition, we aim to unite the Kenyan people on the basis of politics of principle and the issues that confront the majority of Kenyans. We have no desire to rule Kenyans, but be of service to Kenyans. In my choice, therefore, I am certain to disappoint many who felt qualified, able, and willing to serve. I beg your indulgence, forgiveness, but most important, your support for the decision. In my choice of running mate, I have found a Kenyan whose commitment to the ideals of UDF and Amani coalition are unquestionable. A Kenyan who, against all odds, stands out as a bulwark against the politics of ethnic divisions and confrontation. A Kenyan whose DNA says the Kenyan nation belongs to all of us. A Kenyan whose integrity, honesty, resolve, faith, and courage is beyond reproach. A Kenyan whose commitment and belief in democratic principles and the rule of law is proven. A Kenyan who displays a high level of professionalism in the conduct of politics. A Kenyan whose simplicity is highly admirable. A Kenyan with proven skills as a parliamentary debater and leader. A Kenyan who participated in the formulation of the Constitution and whose knowledge and commitment to implement the Constitution is in no doubt. A Kenyan who believes that the implementation of the Constitution is a matter of political competition because it is a given that we must implement the Constitution. A Kenyan of humble, meek, and disadvantaged background, but who has scaled academic and professional training and now holds 3 degrees in different fields. A Kenyan well-heeled in matters of economics and will add value to our promise to provide economic stability and protect investments by Kenyans. The choice for the Amani coalition running mate is a bridge builder with a passion and desire to see Kenyans released from the circle of negative ethnic competition and hatred. The Amani coalition choice is a family man and a church leader. My running mate is youthful but experienced in public service, having worked as a civil servant, businessman, and member of parliament. Dear Kenyans, ladies and gentlemen, in keeping my promise to heal this country, reconcile our people, and ensure stability, may I present to you the Amani coalition running mate. Ladies and gentlemen, can we be upstanding so that we can please welcome Honorable Jeremiah Kioni.
Asante sana. Thank you. Allow me to introduce my family. Yeah, you can sit. I have to learn these things. Thank you. But allow me to also introduce my family before I say anything, because they have been very supportive to me. Yeah. Kujani hapa. Kujani hapa. This is Thank you so much. I want to start by recognizing the presence of our presidential candidate, Honorable Musalia Mudavadi, who is also the Deputy Prime Minister. I want to recognize the presence of the leader of New Ford Kenya, also Waziri Eugene Wamarwa. I also want to recognize the presence of the leader of KANU, Mheshimiwa Gideon Moi. And I can continue because each one of us is a leader in his own right, and I recognize the presence of each and every one of you. Ladies and gentlemen, it is with great humility that I, Jeremiah Kioni, do formally accept the nomination as the Amani Coalition Deputy Presidential Candidate. On behalf of my family, supporters of Amani Coalition, and all Kenyans across the country, I wish to thank you most sincerely for this honor that you have bestowed upon me, and assure you that your confidence in me shall not be betrayed. For me, it has been a long and winding journey to this day. Let me tell you, for those who may not know, that I was born in Nyeri, but my family immediately migrated to Ndaragwa constituency within Nyandarua County, where I started my education at Muruai Primary School before moving on to Rogai and Kabarak High School for my high school education. Those schools are within Nakuru County, and thereafter I joined the University of Nairobi. But it was at Rogai Secondary School and also at Kabarak where I cherished the diversity of our nation. I assure you that I will bring this national mindset and perspective to the Amani presidential ticket and subsequent Amani government. I became a dedicated member of UDF because I believe in the principles for which it stands for, that in the face of politics that shut us out, politics that have divided Kenyans along tribal lines for too long, I believe as a people and one people, we can reach out for that which is possible and build a more and a perfect Kenya. Ladies and gentlemen, I spent my youthful days being told by politicians that all I need is to blame the other person, the other community, the other tribe, the other clan for all the difficulties that will come my way. And for 20 years, we were told that all we needed was a new constitution and our problems will be over. We were also told that with the coming of multi-party democracy, it will be well for each and every Kenyan. But having attained my high school education far away from home, and also university education outside Ndaragwa constituency, because we do not have any university within that constituency, working in many parts of this country, and now having been a member of parliament for 5 years, I realize and I know that problems Kenyans face are not local in nature. Lack of medicine in hospitals, lack of textbooks and computers in schools, unemployment among the youth, lack of technical schools, the prevalence of militia groups, the phenomenon of orphans, single mothers are problems that you find in every part of this country. I appreciate that I have not been in parliament for long. I cannot say I know fully how the government works, but the time I have been there is long enough to say that the way of politics in our country must change. Each and every generation has risen up and done what needed to be done. Today, we are called once more, and it is time for our generation to answer to that call. We must have faith and courage that in the face of impossible odds, people who love their country can change it. It has happened before, and it will happen again. All of us know what the challenges in our country are, but what has stopped us from meeting these challenges is not the absence of policies or the absence of sensible plans, but the failure of collective and committed leadership in our country, the smallness of our politics on a daily basis, the ease with which we are distracted by the petty and the trivial, our chronic avoidance of making tough decisions, the preference for tribal and ethnic spirit in our daily conversations and interactions, our preference for scoring cheap political gains instead of rolling up our sleeves and building a working consensus to tackle the problems facing our Kenyans. It is time to turn the page. Let us transform our country to a nation of one people whose problems do not know any tribal lines. I recognize that this nomination comes with heavy responsibilities. We need to build new bridges across political divide. But let us be the generation and a coalition that reshapes our politics, reshapes our economy, ends the cycle of poverty in Kenya, tackles our healthcare crisis, frees Kenyans from insecurity, a generation that does not forget our veterans who have sacrificed the most for this nation. The Amani coalition is not about positions. It is about what we can do as a nation and not as a tribe or tribes. Ladies and gentlemen, it will take you time. It will take your time, your energy, your advice, your resources, and your courage to push us forward when we are doing it right, and also to let us know when we are not. We must reclaim the meaning of patriotism in this country. We must reclaim the meaning of Mukenya in this country. We must get back the sense of common purpose, realizing that very few obstacles can withstand the power of millions of Kenyans as one people calling for change. As I traversed this country with our presidential flag bearer, Honorable Musalia Mudavadi, I have been struck by his humility, integrity, and personal concern for the weak and the disadvantaged within our society. I have been struck by his non-tribal approach to national issues and his commitment to the economic and political development of this country in a peaceful and in peace and tranquility. But above all, I have been struck by his unbending courage under the greatest of odds. I am confident that he knew this country will find a president without equal. Kenya will be in a safe pair of hands. Ladies and gentlemen, I accept once again the nomination as the deputy presidential candidate for the Amani coalition. God bless our presidential flag bearer, God bless the Amani coalition, and God bless Kenya. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Asante sana. Asanteni sana. Nasema ni asanti kwa Mungu na Mheshimiwa Musalia Mudavadi. Na pia tunasema ya kwamba kazi ambayo iko mbele yetu kama Wakenya sisi ni kufanya kazi. Hatutaki vita na mtu yoyote, hatuna chuki na mtu yoyote, lakini tunasema ni asanti kwa sababu tulikuwa na Mungu hii tutaweza, na yale tumeyaona kufikia pahali tumefikia, na pahali tumefika ni kwa sababu Mungu ana jambo anataka lifanyike Kenya hii. Na sio hali ama mali ama lolote litakalo tuwezesha. Wala ni kuamini ya kwamba wewe mwenyewe utatumiwa na Mungu kulitimiza. It is your time to do something for this country. Please take the challenge. Thank you. God bless you.
Some still photographs there. Okay.
I want to let me okay.